needed to take care of that. So they rushed me into surgery. They were able to do everything laparoscopically. They were able to save everything. Everything she said was fine. She was able to save both ovaries, all intact, and that it should not be an issue. And that she was very frustrated with the doctor who prescribed me this because no one could get a hold of him, and she said that he had no business prescribing a medication like this and then disappearing. And so she told me, I really don't want you seeing him anymore. I don't feel comfortable with it. I want you to see me. And so I thought, this is wonderful. She seems very knowledgeable, knows what she's doing. And so I started to see her for my care, and she is an hour away, so it is a little bit of a hassle to make an appointment, to get in. We've done a lot of things over the phone. And so she told me, let's just try simple, start with 50 milligrams of Clomid, and then she wanted me to go in for blood work on cycle day 24, so that they could draw my blood and check my progesterone levels and to see if I was ovulating or not. And so I started with the 50 milligrams, and which first I had to start moxeprogesterone to start my periods because I wasn't starting one on my own. And so I started that first, and then on my third day of my cycle, I started the 50 milligrams of Clomid, days 3 through 7. Then we went and got my blood work done on the 24th day of my cycle, and it came back that my progesterone levels were very low, and so it was unlikely that I had ovulated on that. And so the following month, she told me, let's try 100 milligrams, because they just double it every time. It goes by 50 milligrams. And so I took 2 pills of Clomid this time around. And so I did the same things. I had to take the moxeprogesterone to start a period. And then on the third day of that, I started taking the Clomid, days 3 through 7. Days 24, I went for my blood work. And then again, there was no progesterone rise, so it was indicating I'm not ovulating. So finally, this last time around, which brings us pretty recent, I took 150 milligrams of the Clomid. My doctor had told me not to waste my money or energy on OPKs because she would be able to tell me if I ovulated, and these were the days that I should be ovulating. But after the first 2 times didn't work, I was kind of curious. I went ahead and invested in the Clear Blue Digital OPKs. The advanced ones, the one where you get a flashing smiley on your high fertility days, and then you get a solid smiley on your peak fertility days. And so I went ahead and tried it. I started on, just to see if I ovulated early, I started on cycle day 10, even though she says cycle days 12 through 18, this should be about where I'm ovulating. So cycle days 9 and 10, I took the test, and I got the empty circle, which means that you're not ovulating. On cycle day 11, I took the test expecting the same thing and actually got a flashing smiley face, and I was so excited because this was meant we must be getting somewhere. My estrogen levels have risen because that's what the flashing smiley face means, and that you're getting ready to ovulate. And so I took a test every morning. On cycle days 11 through 17, I got the flashing smiley face, and I started getting a little frustrated because I didn't realize you could get that many flashing smiley faces. And I only test in the morning, so I thought, well, maybe I missed my LH surge and I ovulated, in the evening. And after doing some online research and looking into it, it is possible, even though it's a little unlikely. So on cycle day 18, I took an OPK, and it was negative. Again, it was the empty circle again. And so I thought, well, there's no reason my estrogen levels would have just randomly risen and given me a high fertility. So I had to have ovulated at some point. And of course, we baby danced like crazy during that window. And on the 24th day of my cycle, I went in, got my progesterone levels checked, and then I got the phone call and got a voicemail saying that my progesterone levels were at 0.36, which is incredibly low, and that I did not ovulate. And I was very frustrated. I just thought this was going to be it, and it wasn't. And so I tried to return the phone call to the nurse, and I left her a message. She left me a message that she was going to have the doctor look over it, come up with a plan, and call me back. This was not this past week, but the week before. and back and forth. I called on Friday afternoon and left a voicemail asking to please hear from them. I didn't. I called on Monday and left a voicemail. I mean, it was just getting ridiculous because I could not, they weren't checking my, the doctor hadn't checked my blood work and hadn't got back to me yet. And so this past week, today is Saturday, so this past week, I called during my planning period hoping to get a hold of the doctor, and this is a very long story short because it's been such a headache with long hold times and just not being able to get a hold of anybody, playing phone tag basically with the nurse. I did get a hold of the nurse on Thursday morning at about 10:30 in the morning, and we talked, and she was just so apologetic. She said, I can't believe she hasn't had a chance to look at it. I'm going to personally make sure she looks at it and calls you back. And, so she told me she would have the doctor call me. And up until this recent time, I'm sorry, my TV is starting on its own. Anyways, up until this time, I have loved this doctor and her nurse. They have always gotten back to me in a timely manner. They always are available, and I've loved it. But the last couple of weeks, I don't know if they've just been really busy or what, but I feel like I was kind of pushed to the back burner a little bit, and so I didn't feel like a priority, which it happens. And so I told the nurse when I spoke to her on Thursday, if you need to discuss or the doctor needs to discuss anything with me, I teach, so these are the best times to get a hold of me. And that they're welcome to leave a voicemail as well if it's not something that needs discussed. And so I didn't hear back on Thursday. On Friday, yesterday, I was teaching, and I don't have my phone on me during the day while I teach. It's in my purse. The doctor did call, and of course it was during a time that I said I was unavailable, left me a message that she was going to go into surgery, so she wouldn't be able to call me anymore during Friday, but that she had looked at my blood work and I did not ovulate, and she wants to discuss next plans. And the one thing that made me kind of cringe was that she said, I don't know if you were on the 50 milligrams or what, but you did not ovulate. And I was thinking, well, I am on 150 milligrams. This is the third time with you that I'm trying Clomid at a different level. So it really made me kind of nervous and not thrilled that she didn't know what milligrams I was on, but that she would try to call me on Monday. And that was all in the message. And so I think I'm going to talk to my principal and just see if I can clear with him to have my phone on me all day Monday. And if I teach 5th and 6th grade, so I can kind of step away and let them work on something silently. I can step outside of my classroom for a second, and they, thank goodness, are well-behaved children, and they, for the most part, obviously they are kids. But anyway, so to see if they, if that would be okay if I could answer my phone call there. And in the meantime, I have a friend who has doctors in town where we live that is not an hour away, and she suggested them to me because they ran all sorts of tests on her when she was having issues, and that's what I would really like to have done, a lot of tests. So I went ahead and called this doctor just to make an appointment. I don't know if I'll keep the appointment, it just depends. I'm gonna wait and see what I hear from this doctor an hour away, and if I'm happy with that and such. But I am really wanting to have another ultrasound done just to see if maybe there's scar tissue or what's going on, because I'm not really sure. So anyways, I have kind of blabbed on and on in this video, but I will be probably continuing these videos just because, like I said, I think it's kind of therapeutic just to get some of this stuff off of my chest. And if no one ever watches them, I'm okay with that, but at least I feel like I'm able to talk to this without driving anyone too crazy. So I will probably make an updated video after I speak to my doctor on Monday, hopefully, and I will update with what the plan is going to be. I've read and done research and all different ideas, so I have a notebook full of questions and thoughts and concerns that I'm going to ask her and find out about. If you enjoyed watching this video, and you have any comments or tips or words of encouragement, I would really appreciate it, so you can leave them in the comments. All right, I will talk to you soon.